Florence is not the only one nursing wounds related to the massacre. I go ahead and meet up Kurume Janet, a victim of circumstance almost similar to Florence's. I'm still in Kumi district, Kabata Ameje parish, and next to me is Janet Kuluma, one of the people who lost their husband in the Mukura massacre. Welcome to the show.
Ebo.
Ebia Ibo.
Jokuna. Bia Ibo Jo.
Jokuna.
Yoga Swam.
Bo.
Yoga Dolu.
Ebo. Apparently, you're one of the women who lost their husband in the Mukura massacre.
Ebo.
How did you and your late husband meet?
Yongo espakita yongo serere. Ebo yo klinika dange na gwele talu poko.
That her husband got her from Serere. He was there with the brother, and the husband also bought land from there, I think from the neighborhood. Then they met there.
How long did you stay together with your late husband before the massacre incident came in?
Karakaisara luka.
They finished 25 years.
That is Karakaisare ano kai. Boye song.
You were together for 25 years. Did you have any children with him?
Mama abu apeda dumuniko kunara abu ang accident olomaki. Erengi la pio yare unga unetengo togo aibunga.
She got a problem in 1983 where some guys called the cordon came at night and they opened the door. They started beating her here and they removed her. What you want? The uterus.
Her story has its own twist though. Surviving with no offspring, Janet is a depressed woman. After a severe beating by thugs, Janet found herself on the operating table to have her uterus removed, rendering her barren. Oh, sorry about that. The people who attacked and beat you, whereby you were taken to hospital and your uterus came out, were they thieves or it was a certain group of rebels?
Arasitu nganguni sirikale ilu tem. Pontos kesa kokona araja isaidoka.
That they had come to steal because they had a shop.
No dadum ne kilo kite mame.
And they got the husband when he was not there.
Through the course all her short-lived marriage life, she endured mockery of her unfortunate situation. Being unable to conceive, her major strength came from her husband. What exactly happened the day your husband was got to be taken to that wagon where he met his death?
Dede ngatakiro serere, no rebels muno. Abong nete doso ne urtere nesi. Dodi bong so neni tupuruchu utasaidi me maido. O misiri.
You're picking groundnuts.
Okay. Utasaidi me maido. Opote di sirikale. Usani yare. Opote kesi. Abunera da kamun so misiri. Ngedi mi ase maido. Yangarte bodoso. Yangarso. Enya kunete dongo road. Baka ngobongo. Omiete do kesikilioko. Abongun dongo re. Did you try to find out why your husband was taken? Probably try to follow up where he was taken to. Abuanga tamajenon. Narapon keso ngarai to no somero lo risai. Tupuruchu adilete so da ngoro.
She's saying she tried to follow the husband and she got the husband from the school called Risai. And when she was there, she got the husband, he was tied with the ropes. And they chased them back, that to go back home. And when they came back home, they went back the next morning. And they found they have taken them to Mukura. So when they reached there, they told them to give the soldiers the money. And she was told to give the money, 60,000. And he came back and sold the cassava, dry cassava. Then he took the money, trying to rescue the life of the husband.
When you took the money, did you manage to rescue your late husband?
Yeah, after taking the money, they told her that they will send your husband back. You go back home. So So the next morning, she heard that the husband was burnt.
Did you manage to see your husband's dead body?
Mom.
You didn't? How did you find out that he died?
Luda bong netangi na. Lua jariti. Misido poto limbu. Barar kesi. To na dolo kina paki.
She got the news from the survivors that they have killed the people, even your husband has. They have killed him, and they could not even identify them because they boiled them.
Yeah, from the wagon.
She could not identify the husband again.
As ill-fated as it was, Janet lost her husband in the Aboge massacre, as it is now famously known. Did you go and bury your husband? You did? Did you?
Doubt to see Sabitini.
They finished 3 weeks and they came for them.
Who came for you?
They sent a vehicle with the LOC to pick the windows. You couldn't identify because the whole skin was not there.
How did you feel at that time when you found out that your husband has died in such a brutal manner?
She fell sick and she was taken to Ngora, and she fell sick. They added her drip 6 bottles. And up to now, when she starts thinking of that, still she will fall sick.
When you are taken to hospital, you have no kids. Who has taken care of you then?
That her friend.
Okay, how did you manage to survive? You being that you have no source of income and you're a widow.
I pakas.
She goes to people's gardens to dig and they pay her.
Whom do you stay with now?
That she was just from Ngora, then she decided to come here. Now she's staying with their brother's son.
Why and who chased you from Ngora?
That brother to husband who chased her for the issue of the other money they gave to those windows. So they decided to send her back home here because she did not produce, so she was not supposed to benefit from that money.
So the widows received some money from the government, right? How much did they get?
That they were given 2.5 million.
2.5, as in each widow was given 2.5.
That all of them, she got 400,000.
Who was in charge of handing the 400,000 to you?
Akiro Agnes.
Akiro Agnes. Do you think as widows this is the money you're worth getting?
So for them they didn't know anything. They need to know whether that is the same amount of the money they're supposed to receive or not.
With such a horrible past, Janet now lives with her 95-year-old mother. She doesn't have so much to ask for, but good shelter and business capital. Are you taking care of your mother and your brother's son? How are you taking care of them? Do you have any source of income?
She's staying with only the mother here, and the son stays somewhere. He got some work.
I know you can't forget the past, but what do you think should have been done to at least heal your wounds?
She's requesting you that you help her at any way. You feel like on the side of bedding also is very difficult, side of feeding also is difficult.
If you're given the chance to meet the president of Uganda today, what would you tell him?
President
if she gets that chance to meet the president, she'll ask the president to give her or to build for her a permanent house and to give her money for starting business, either from here, village, or from the markets.
Nare tiono do chut.
All right, thank you so much.
Yala manoi. Yala makakoko. Yala manoi.
That's all we heard from Kuluma Janet, who lost her husband in the Mukura massacre. To conclude my visit, I make a quick trip to the mass grave to pay my respects. They may never be enough to compensate for the loss of these grieving women. Nonetheless, it's only fair that they be offered something to probably ease their pain. Behind me is the spot where over 70 people lost their lives in the Mukura massacre, and later on, a mass grave was built where they were laid to rest. I'm now standing next to the mass grave where all the people who lost their lives in the Mukura massacre were laid to rest. May their souls rest in eternal peace.
This is my dad. And this one also is who? Atwaita Aloysius. Is who? The brother to this one. Oh.
Located 11 kilometers from Kumi town along the Soroti-Mbale highway lies the tranquil trading center of Mukura. In July 1989, it was the scene of a brutal massacre of approximately 69 civilians accused of rebelling against the new NRM government, which had just taken over the country 3 years earlier through a military coup led by Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.